Hi there, this is Amelia from the Student Art Guide. I'm going to show you how to create a professional website using WordPress. So this is my own personal artist website. I'm just going to show you around so that you get an idea of how straightforward and simple WordPress is to use. So WordPress has thousands of free themes available, which means that you can create a site that looks like virtually anything. This here is a page on my website. And if we look at this page in the back end, we edit it, here's the view of this now, you can see that it's a similar difficulty level to using Microsoft Word. It is very easy to make things bold, italic, you can add YouTube videos. If you would like to add an image, you click the Add Media button. And then it is a very straightforward matter to insert these into the article that you are writing. Now, WordPress can be customized in an almost infinite number of ways. You can add Buy Now buttons if you're hoping to sell items directly from your website. You can also add contact forms, social media buttons, and so on. So this tutorial is going to run you through the whole process of starting up your WordPress website, and it is designed for someone with no prior website experience. When you create a website, you need a place to store your files so that they are accessible on the World Wide Web. This is called hosting. If you begin by clicking the link under this video, it will take you through to SiteGround, who are the hosting providers that we recommend. You then need to choose whether you would like the Startup or Grow Big package. The main difference between these is that with the Grow Big package you can create as many websites as you would like for only a couple of extra dollars a month, whereas with the Startup package you can only create one. So after you have selected the plan that you would like, you click the Get Started button. You then need to type in the website name that you would like. Now this is called the website domain, and bear in mind that these go really quickly, so the one you're after may no longer be available. I'm just entering the name of a new website that I'm about to create. And of course, once you've typed it in, you need to choose whether you would like .com or some other extension. On the next page, it asks you to enter in your personal contact information and payment details. Towards the bottom of this page, you will see a section titled Hosting Services. Now here you may wish to change the data center location to a place that is closest to most of your audience. This may make your website load a few milliseconds faster for these people. So it's not too crucial, but it's something that you might wish to consider. Then at the very bottom there is a section titled Extra Services. The first of these, domain registration, this is the website name that you entered previously. I also strongly recommend that you select domain privacy, as this will hide your contact details from public view. If you have entered a business address, this may not be a problem. It then brings up a link saying proceed to customer area, so you click this. And now you have one final step to ensure that you are the proud new owner of a domain, and that is to check your email and find a very important email with the subject line verification required. You open this and you click the verification link. Now what you're basically doing here is confirming that you are not a spammer and that your contact details that you've entered are correct. Once you have verified these, you return to SiteGround and we are ready for the fun to begin. So remember, SiteGround is where we store the website files and WordPress is what you use to build the site. So in SiteGround now we navigate to My Accounts on the menu. And then you find Access cPanel and click this. You then locate the WordPress icon in the center of the screen somewhere. Click that. Now at the bottom there is a link which says Install Now. You click this. You now need to decide whether you would like the www to appear in your website address. Now this is purely personal preference, so you need to select between the first and the second options. The third and fourth options are for those websites that require an extra level of security. These are for websites that collect a lot of personal data off their users or who process credit card payments directly through the site. So for now, just select the first or second option. You then need to create a site name and site description. This will appear at the top of your website. It is very, very easy to change these at a later stage, so don't worry too much now about getting the perfect phrase. Just enter something. You then need to create some login details for WordPress. So you change the default options to something that you are likely to remember, and I recommend writing these down somewhere so that you don't forget them. Importantly, you need to ensure that the email address is your own email address. You then click Install. Now the next page that comes up contains two very important links which you should bookmark. For now, we'll open these in a new window. If we go to the first of these links, you will see that you now have a brand new website live on the internet. Now, of course, at this point it looks very bland and empty because you have not customized it and you haven't added any content. The other link is to your WordPress dashboard. Now this is the place where you edit your site and add content to it. Now the reason we're going to add content before we customize the appearance is so that when we make changes to the appearance, we really see how it will affect our site. If you attempt to select a theme and make other tweaks to the appearance before you have any content on the site, it's hard to see what effect the changes have, and it's hard to imagine what your final site will look like. So we're going to start now by creating some sample content together. Now don't worry at this stage about making this content perfect. We just need to get some content on there so that when we tweak the appearance, we can get a better idea of how your site is going to look. Now in WordPress, you can create a post or a page. Now they're very, very similar. The main difference is that a post can be categorized, so you could have a collection all about one topic, for example, whereas pages are standalone and are generally used for things such as an about page or a terms and conditions page, something like this. So let's start by making an about page. We go pages and then add new. Now we add a heading. Let's just call it about me or something similar for now. Remember, it's very easy to come back and edit and change these later. And then quickly write yourself a sample about page. You may want to pause the video here while you go and do this. It's very easy to add headings and subheadings by changing paragraph to heading. So we get an idea of how images will appear on the site. We're going to click Add Media. Then we open a file on our computer and drag in an appropriate image. Now we're going to use this image soon as a featured image, so let's make sure this is quite a large image, 2000 pixels or greater in width. Now when you add an image, it's important to add alt text. Alt text helps to tell Google what the image is about. The other fields here, such as title tag and caption and description, are optional. A title tag is what will appear if you hover over the image, and a caption, as I'm sure you know, is the text that appears underneath an image on the page. Then you can choose the size of the image. Let's leave it as full size for now, and insert into the page. Great, so now we have an image there. Now we have one final task, and that is to set a featured image. This is the image that will appear extra large at the top of the page. And we're just going to choose the same image that we have just inserted just for the sake of ease right now. And then we click Publish. At the top, you click on the View Page link. We'll open it in a new tab. And there we are, a brand new page on the website with the featured image at the top and the text at the bottom. Remember, the layout won't look especially exciting at this point because we haven't added a great theme or customized the appearance. Now, if you look at the top, there is a black bar running across which has an Edit Page button. So this black bar is only visible to you when you're logged into WordPress. And if you ever want to edit a page, you simply click that Edit Page button and make the changes you require. Now, if we look for a moment at the URL, you will see that by default, WordPress creates a URL with unusual symbols and numbers in it. Now, this of course isn't very user-friendly, so I'm going to show you how we can easily fix this. If we look in the Edit view, there is a Change Permalinks button. We're going to click that. And this takes you through to some of the WordPress settings. We want to select the Post Name option. We then scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes. Now if we head back to that About page and we refresh the screen, you can see that it no longer has those random digits, and it now says About Me, which is much more user-friendly. Now we're going to create a post. Remember, a post is very similar to a page, but it can be categorized and so on. So let's just call this a title that is relevant for your particular website. Now you'll see, because we have made that change, we can now edit the URL. So I'm taking away the my here to make it slightly cleaner and easier to remember. So add some content to this page, just a sample page related to the topic of your website, and as before, add an image by clicking Add Media. Drag an appropriate image from your desktop, and as before, change the appropriate fields here, remembering that the alt text is very helpful for Google and is strongly recommended. Then you click Insert into Post. Now you'll see on the right hand side there is a place here where you can choose the category. We'll just create a new category. Click Add New Category. I've called this Paintings, but you would of course call it something relevant to your own website. And as before, we will set a featured image. And for simplicity, we'll just use the image that we just uploaded. And then we will publish the page. As before, we click View Post, or you can click on that link and it will open it as well. And we now have a post on our website. Great, so now we have one final thing to do before we start customizing the appearance, and that is to create a menu. So we go Appearance and then Menus. Now, websites can have more than one menu. They could have a menu in the header at the top of the page, a menu at the footer at the bottom of the page, and even a menu in the sidebar. We're going to begin by creating the menu at the top of the page. Give this a name, we'll just call it Main Menu or something similar. We then click Create Menu. Now we need to add some links to this menu. You'll see that your new About page is listed on the left. So let's select that and then click the Add to Menu button. Then if we click the Posts button, you can also select the post that you created and add that to the menu also. Now once you've added items, you can rename the title to something that is more appropriate for a menu, usually a shorter, more abbreviated version. You may also wish to capitalize these. You then click Save Menu. By default, WordPress will place this menu at the top of your site. So if you return now and refresh the screen, you'll see that you have the menu that you just created now running across the top. In this section of the tutorial, we're going to customize the appearance of the website, as well as show you how easy it is to add extra functionality. So just as you can install an app on your phone to give it extra functionality, you can install something called a plugin to give your WordPress website extra functionality. Now there are thousands of free plugins, and these can be used to add contact forms, social media buttons, basically anything you can think of, there will be a plugin for that. Now you may be wondering why WordPress doesn't come with all of these things already installed. This is because every time you add extra functionality, you complicate the website and potentially make it slower to run. So as a general rule of thumb, I like to have no more than 20 plugins per site. If you click on plugins in the left-hand menu, you will see that by default WordPress comes with 2 plugins installed. Now we don't need these ones, so we're going to select and then delete these. And now I'm going to run you through the process of adding a new plugin. So we click the Add New button, and then I'm going to get you to search for a highly recommended plugin that I use for all of my websites, and this is called Yoast SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this is the process of creating your website in such a way that it is more likely to rank highly in Google. So this plugin kind of guides you through this process and gives you recommendations as to how you might improve your page so that it is likely to rank higher in Google. Now if we look carefully underneath each plugin, you will see that they are rated out of 5 stars. It also tells you how many people have installed them, so we can see that this one has a 5-star rating and has been installed over 1 million times. You can see also that it was updated only 5 days ago and is compatible with the current version of WordPress. So this is a pretty phenomenal rating, and it's one of the most popular WordPress plugins. So let's install this one now. We click Install Now. And then we click Activate. It then takes you through to the list of plugins, and you can see that we now have the Yoast SEO plugin installed. Now we'll talk more about SEO in an upcoming video. For now, let's quickly add another plugin. This one is called TinyMCE Advanced, and this one gives you extra options when you are writing a post or page. So we install and then activate. And if we go back to an edit page and refresh it, you will see now at the top of that post that we have a whole lot of extra options. We can now choose the font style as well as the font size and so on. So now that you can see how easy it is to add a new plugin, we're going to add a new theme. So a theme will change the whole appearance of a website without affecting the content. So just as a reminder, this is what the website looks like at present. To add a new theme, we go to the WordPress dashboard and we look in the left-hand menu and we find Appearance and then Themes. Now by default, WordPress comes with a few themes pre-installed. We're going to delete the ones that aren't currently active, so you click on those and then click the delete button in the bottom right hand corner. And that leaves us with the one theme that is currently active on the site. We then click Add New. It can be worthwhile to have a look at the Popular tab, as themes that are popular tend to be updated more regularly and more reliable. When you have found a theme that you like the look of, you click on it, and then it will provide a preview of what this theme will look like. Sometimes the preview doesn't look much like the thumbnail. This is because you often have to install the theme and set it up before you can see what it really will look like. So when you find one that you like, you click Install and then Activate. And then if we go back to the website and refresh the screen, you'll see that it now looks completely different. So what most people do at this point is change between themes until they find one that they really fall in love with. Now this can take quite some time, and you should remember to delete the themes that you are no longer using rather than leaving them all in your WordPress dashboard. So now that we've covered the basics of WordPress, many of you will be able to hit the ground running and go and add content to your new website. For the rest of this video, I'm going to run through how I set up one of my favorite themes, the illdy theme, so that you can follow along with me and end up with a site that looks highly professional and a website that looks as though it cost thousands of dollars to develop. Once we have set up the illdy theme, we will then go on to add social media buttons and a contact form. So begin by searching for the illdy theme. That's ILLDY. When we find it, we click the Install and then Activate buttons. Great, so now the illdy theme has been installed and it's time for us to customize it. We click the blue Customize button, and then it brings up a preview of our website with a whole lot of options along the left hand side. It prompts us to install the illdy companion. This is a special plugin that they have created to help the setup process. So we click Install, and it's important to note that if you want to change themes at a later stage, you must deactivate and uninstall this plugin. So then we click Activate, and it takes us through to the plugin menu. We can see we now have the illdy companion plugin installed. Now we need to go back to the Customize menu. You can also access this from the black bar at the top of the website. And you'll now see it's prompting us to install another plugin. So this will allow your visitors to email you through your website. You click the Install and then Activate buttons. And as before, it takes you through to your list of plugins. Now we go back to your Customize screen and we click the Set Automatically button. Then we click I want my site to look like your demo, and this will allow it to change all the settings so that the home page looks really professional and allows you to easily customize the site without you doing the hard work. So if we refresh our home page, you will see now that you have a really professional, high quality site. Now of course all the colors and everything can be easily changed. And you'll see that you now have lots of great sections on your home page which can be set up with your own content. So now we're going to customize this theme. We go back to the Customize page and we are going to start by clicking General Options and then Logo. So at the bottom of this page we change illdy and we type in the name of our website and click Save and Publish. We then refresh the screen. We'll see that we now have the name of our website at the top. Now we're going to click on Menus and then Menu Locations, and we're going to select the menu that we made earlier and save and publish. So once again, if we now return to our website and refresh the screen, you will see in the top right hand corner that we now have our menu. Back in the Customise screen, we now go Front Page Sections and then Jumbotron section. A Jumbotron is the large image that appears at the top of the page. We turn on the featured image as Jumbotron and click Save and Publish. Now if we look at our About page and refresh it, we'll see that our large featured image now appears at the top of the page. Now if we go back to the Customise menu and go Front Page Section and then Jumbotron Sections and then scroll down, we're going to change the words that appear in large font on the home page. Now this looks rather complicated. You can see that there's some code that appears inside square brackets. We just need to ignore that code and change the words on either side of these. So I've changed it to fast, awesome, and so on. If we now change that fast to a capitalized fast, you'll see that it also makes this change on the home page. So this theme comes with some really great call to action buttons on the home page. To set these up, we simply scroll down lower on the Customise page and we enter in some titles for these buttons, as well as the links that we would like them to go to. So I've entered in the About page that we created earlier and also the post that we created earlier. Then click Save and Publish. Now if we refresh the screen again, we'll find that when we click on that button, it takes us through to the blog post. If we scroll lower, you can see that there are a whole lot of colour options. But before we choose colours, it makes sense to upload an appropriate background. Obviously, the colours you choose will need to link into your main background image. So we upload an image just as we did earlier, drag an appropriate file from a folder on our desktop, remembering in this case that the image has to be suitable for text to appear on top of. As before, you fill out the appropriate fields, remembering that the alt text is important for Google. And then click Choose Image. Then you can position this. You can choose whether you would like it to be aligned with the top left hand corner or in the center. And we save it, then return to our website and refresh the screen. I've chosen a background image that is 2000 pixels wide and 1250 pixels tall to ensure that it will cover a large screen size. Once we've chosen a good background image, it is time to set the colours on the home page. You simply click the coloured box and you can choose an appropriate colour. Now computers give each colour a hex code. This is convenient as it means we can copy that hex code and paste it in another coloured box, and this will ensure that separate areas have the exact same colour. We then click Save and Publish, and if we refresh our website, we will see that we now have colours that link in a bit better with the background image. Now we click Front Page Sections and we're going to look at the About section. It's very easy to change the title to something different. And you can easily type in text that you would like in this area. And if you decide that you don't want this section on your website, you simply click this button and it will disappear. If we move now to the projects section, you can see that you can upload an image as you do normally. And then you click Insert. Now if you would like these images to link to a particular page on your website, you copy and paste the website URL into the appropriate box and then click Save and Publish. Now once you have edited all of the sections on your home page, you may discover that there are a few other small items that you wish you could tweak. There is an extra section called Additional CSS where you are able to paste in some instructions for altering other items on the website. Now I will provide these on websitedreaming.com. A couple of things that you may wish to tweak are the size of the text on the home page. So I have changed the fast, awesome, beautiful text on my website. I've made it a bit smaller so that it fits nicely on a mobile screen. And I have also decided to change the website dreaming text. I've capitalized it, changed the color and made it a bit smaller. Now if you would like to see how your site would appear on mobile, there is a small button at the bottom. And if we scroll down, we can now see that fast, awesome, beautiful text fits nicely on the screen, whereas earlier it was running awkwardly off the side. Great, so once you have set up your theme, it is now time to add content to the sidebar using widgets. So a widget is a funny name that's given to an item that appears in the sidebar. We go Appearance and then Widgets. So each theme has different widgets that are available. We can see on the left hand side of the screen all of the widgets that are available to us. For example, we have a widget that enables us to put a menu in the sidebar. There is also a text box widget and so on. On the other side of the page, we have the different areas where widgets can be placed. For example, they can be placed in 3 different parts of the footer or in the blog sidebar. You can see that currently in the blog sidebar there are 6 different widgets. If we go back to our website and take a look and we scroll down on one of the posts, you can see all the widgets appearing on the right hand side. To remove these widgets, you simply grab them and drag them to the left. And we're going to leave the search box visible. And we're going to add a text box beneath it. So we drag up the text box, place it beneath it, and then we can type in some random items and click Save. Now if we go back to our post, you'll see we have the search box and that item in the sidebar. Now we're going to add some social media buttons. If we return to the Customise screen, you will see that it is prompting us to install a social media plugin. We click Install and then Activate. Then when it takes us through to our list of plugins, we can see that we have installed the Kiwi Social Media Share Button plugin. Now in the left-hand menu, we click Kiwi Social, and this takes us through to the settings for that plugin. We need to choose which of the social media platforms we would like to be included. It's generally best practice not to include all of them, but just to select a few. We then choose where we would like the buttons to display, on posts or pages, and whether you would like them to be before or after the content. You then choose the size and design style, and then click Save Changes. Now if we return to one of our posts and refresh the screen, we'll see that we now have those social media buttons at the bottom. Now we're going to add a contact form. Earlier we installed Contact Form 7 plugin. We're going to go to the plugins menu and then click the settings. Now conveniently it creates a sample contact form already. We click mail and then we type in the address that we would like it to go to. Then there is a short code at the top of that page. We highlight that and copy it. Now if we create a new page and we call this Contact Me or something similar, and we paste in that short code, I'm just editing the URL to make it cleaner, and then we click Publish. When we view that page, that short code will be converted into a contact form. And of course you should test this and make sure it is functioning as expected. Lastly, we're going to add Buy Now buttons. We need to go to Plugins in the menu and then click Add New. We then search for PayPal Buy Now and click the Install Now button. We then click Activate and then find it in the plugin list and click Settings. We then need to enter our PayPal ID or an email address that we use with your PayPal account. To have this button work, you do need to have an account with PayPal. PayPal is used all over the world and they take care of all of the processing of credit card payments for you. Once you've done that, you click the Save Settings button, and then if you edit the post that you created earlier, you will see that beside the Add Media button, there is now a PayPal button option. You move to the position on the page where you would like the button to appear, and you then click the PayPal button at the top. It then asks you to enter the item name and the price, ensuring that you have dollars and cents entered, and then you choose whether you would like it aligned left, center or right. And click Insert. Then we click Update, and if we view the page, you will now see that below the image we have a Buy Now button. Now before we go, I'm going to show you how to back up your site, which you should do before you make any changes to plugins and so on in the future. So to do this, we need to go back to SiteGround, sign in, then go to My Accounts and then navigate to your cPanel. Once you're at your cPanel, you can scroll down right to the very bottom and you find Create Backup. You click this and then you click Download a full website backup. You type in your email address and then click Generate Backup. And you're done. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. If you need more help setting up your website, feel free to visit websitedreaming.com.